being President of the United States? Arguably the most powerful position on Earth. You control the world's largest military. You get your own plane. You have people who make sure your socks match. Sounds pretty sweet, right? Wrong. Being president is like being crowned king of a collapsing amusement park. The title sounds great, until you realize the roller coaster's on fire, the guests are angry, and someone just flushed a ferret down the water slide. Before you become president, you must first survive the campaign. This is where you spend 18 months pretending you love diners, fairs, handshakes, and talking to people who think Wi-Fi causes cancer. You'll give 300 speeches. You'll say the words hard-working American families so many times your brain will develop muscle memory. And you'll have to pretend to enjoy cold chicken from a gas station at 2 a.m. while answering questions like, "What's your stance on mandatory canoe licenses?" The debates, where candidates gather to say the same 5 sentences in different orders while trying not to sweat through their suits. It's like speed dating for political disaster. And remember, everything you've ever said or posted, ever, is about to be weaponized. You liked a suspicious tweet in 2009? It's a scandal. You once said you preferred waffles over pancakes? Goodbye, Midwest vote. But somehow, you win. Congrats! You're now the most powerful person on Earth, and also the most blamed, the most watched, and possibly the most sleep-deprived. Suddenly, every sentence you say becomes an international headline. You cough. Wall Street panics. You blink too slowly, Reddit thinks you've been replaced by a clone. And this is just the first day on the job. Welcome to your new home, the White House. It's 55,000 square feet of history, power, and antique chairs you're not allowed to touch. On paper, it's a mansion. In practice, it's a gilded prison. You live in the same building where you work. You eat, sleep, argue about foreign policy, and explain to your daughter why she can't have TikTok. You can't go out for coffee. You can't just pop by CVS for deodorant. If you want ice cream, you don't walk. You authorize a motorcade. And forget ordering takeout. That burger you want? It has to be background checked, scanned, and possibly interrogated before it hits your plate. You'll get briefings about global conflict, the economy, and the latest hurricane, all before your second cup of coffee. Every idea you have will be reviewed, revised, rerouted, filibustered, and finally killed in a subcommittee meeting, chaired by a man who still uses fax machines. Let's talk about the people who now follow you everywhere, the Secret Service. These guys are highly trained, insanely competent. You can't open a window. You can't drive. The last time a president drove himself was Lyndon B. Johnson on his Texas ranch. And that was in a golf cart, in a field, probably followed by 5 black SUVs and a helicopter. The White House is more than 200 years old. It's seen fires, assassinations, and the time Nixon tried to install a bowling alley. Yes, it's supposedly haunted. Lincoln's ghost has been seen by at least 5 people, including Winston Churchill. You are officially the internet's main character. Every awkward photo, every weird pause, every slip-up is a meme. You'll trend on Twitter for things like eating ice cream, tripping on stairs, or waving wrong. And if you think, maybe I'll just avoid social media, too bad. You can't. Because everything you say will still end up on YouTube, TikTok, and a conspiracy subreddit moderated by a guy named Eagle Warrior 72. Meet the media. They are now your closest companions. They'll follow you, film you, and fact-check your lunch. You could announce world peace, and they'd ask why you didn't do it sooner. You could rescue a cat from a tree, and they'd run a segment titled, "President Oversteps Role in Local Animal Rescue." You could save the planet from an asteroid, someone will still say you did it too slow. Thomas Jefferson once called the presidency a splendid misery. Let's talk about rest. Presidents don't sleep. Your sleep schedule? Destroyed. Your bedtime? Irrelevant. 3 a.m. phone calls? Frequent. Ever seen what 4 years in the White House does to a face? It's like time uses your pores as punching bags. Obama went in with the swagger of a rock star. He came out looking like he'd fought Voldemort and the IRS at the same time. Lincoln aged so hard during his presidency that even his statues look tired. This job doesn't just gray your hair. It spiritually exfoliates your soul. You'll face hurricanes, recessions, pandemics, invasions, government shutdowns, and if you're lucky, a guy dressed like a shaman trying to break into your office.
Come here and give me your number.
Remember your campaign friends? The ones who believed in you? Gone. Now you're surrounded by advisors, consultants, and a mysterious man named Carl, who's always just there. One day, it's over. You're still a former president, but nobody listens to you unless you write a memoir or get a Netflix deal. So why does it suck to be US president? Because it's the only job where you age a decade in a term, you're blamed for traffic jams and inflation, your lunch could start World War III. And when you finally retire, your biggest accomplishment might be getting a decent golf swing. And yet, people still want the job, because power is tempting, history is seductive, and maybe, just maybe, some part of them thinks, yeah, I can fix this whole country in 4 years.